So how is your race going?
Oh, it's beautiful. How to say? Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like I'm really most of the time in the consciousness I was hoping for, to be in the serving attitude for the Supreme, and placing every lap at the absolute Supreme, like a heart flower of my gratitude heart. And but it also like swaps around, and sometimes it's like more like absolutely peace and meditation and just like running around. And then of course sometimes, especially in the evenings, especially the feet get like can get quite painful, and then it's like a little fight that I stay in the heart, and I feel more that I'm the soul and not the body. Yeah.
But your mileage has been very good. I know you don't pay too much attention, but are you happy with how that's gone?
Well, you're right, I don't pay much attention because I think really this is not my business. My business is like the progress. But I know that I will most certainly make a personal best by quite a good piece. And now it's actually very subtle. I entered into the race because I thought like the Supreme also like wants me to finish at the 47th day. And then I start to sneak, because I got now slower. And it's tight, yeah, okay, go on. And this is exactly where I did not want to enter. Because like then it's like in the mind and not in the heart.
Yeah.
So now it's like a little bit the battle to go back fully to the heart, and what comes, comes. And it's perfect what comes. And yeah, it's a funny thing, you start a race, and then after a while, maybe also because of certain songs you sing, you realize, now it's the first day of the second week. Oh, and it's the first day of the third week. And then, yeah, it disappears slowly, these numbers also. And then and now I'm here, and it feels like really kind of unreal. So it's my first day running here. And it's, yeah, it feels just a little strange that, yeah, it seems like the eternal pilgrimage, it seems like it has an end, which I'm not, I get really like a little more physical problems, and I'm a little bit worn out. From that point, I have nothing against it, that at one point it will stop, but it feels unreal.
How many races have you done now?
The 3100?
Yeah.
It's my 5th.
And what have you learned in those 5 races? Why do you think you've been able to transcend yourself this time?
Well, I suppose I did some spiritual progress in these 12 years, and I think that's pretty much that's it. I did do, let's call it, my homework for the physical preparation for that year. I went for almost like a half a year to a disciple doctor to every month, like to get really physically ready.
Yeah.
I did some cleansing program which pops up. I didn't know about it, and did that. It felt very good. I did my training. I did a 10-day race, and this helped me also like in the training itself, because the training was actually not always so easy. But then I came back in this 10-day race. I did pretty good. I mean, this mileage, what I did there, would be enough to finish. So it gave me like peace of mind. And yeah, it's the interesting thing is also like with the for me with the numbers. When I'm in the race, that means like I'm with the numbers. Then generally I have more stomach problems. I have to go more to the bathroom. And I forgot what I wanted to say.
Do you ever feel that you get into the flow of running where it kind of becomes not effortless, but you get into a really good space where you just...
Definitely. I mean, it comes and goes. I had in the previous years, I definitely had always like problem with tiredness, and in this race, I had very little problems with tiredness. And in the beginning, I was actually listening very little, and then just a very little of Sri Chinmoy singing, and a very little of disciple singing or bhajan singing, where you can join the singing. And I had a resistance actually against, let's call it foreign music, which actually I, especially for that race, that I have something to keep me awake, what I know maybe a little bit from my childhood, and also like audiobooks, but I had a totally resistance against it. I could not listen to it. And at one point, I started to listen a little bit to that because I got really more tired and this, but then at one point I stopped again. And when I'm in this flow,
We love running!
me too. Yeah, then it seems like I get this freshness I get this help from Mother Earth, from Mother Nature, and it helps me. So now I'm actually not listening for, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, not at all. It's just like, yeah, I can connect. I walk on the other side around or here, and it's not always happening, but I look around and say, wow, that's a beautiful tree. And the next lap, wow, that's a beautiful tree. And the next lap, wow, it's a beautiful tree. You know, I get each time joy. Yeah. But there's also like some parts, you see the tree, and it's just like, totally tired, like in the mind also. And
when it does get difficult in the evening, you say very tired and pain.
no, in the evening it's more the pain actually.
What do you do to try to get beyond that? How do you try to get back into the heart? Anything that works well for you?
Well, there's a disciple coming from Sri Chinmoy, and he has a meditation picture with him. And then I go there for a couple of seconds and offer it to that picture in the meditative and then sometimes I got really like answers that once it popped up like it's not my pain, it's the Supreme's pain. It has nothing to do with me. And when I really was convinced to that thought, there was no pain. And this was really, I mean, this is wonderful experiences. I always like when I have a more hard time with the pain, then I try very strongly to feel like the last 2 laps I'm here, to feel like absolutely bliss. I'm totally in bliss. And all is, bliss. So that I go home and I have this bliss in my heart, in my system for the next start of the race, for the next day. And this actually helps quite good, that really the pain also diminishes. And then sometimes I was wondering, maybe I could do that earlier. Yeah.
This race is called the Sri Chinmoy Self-Transcendence race. What does self-transcendence mean to you? What's a practical experience doing this race?
Well, sometimes self-transcendence means for me to do better as I did before. That can be, I'm now older and I'm doing the same thing, or even like time-wise not as good as before, but because I'm older, I'm transcending that. Or it can be that in time-wise, you transcend yourself. It's like to go beyond your last best or whatever.
A power question, what about the community at this race? Because I mean, you have helpers and you have other runners. How does that add to your race?
Well, it's a wonderful community. It's great runners, great helpers. It's yeah, it's nice. The only a little sad thing is like that 2 runners had to stop because of health problems. That's a little bit sad. But yeah.
Earlier in the race, you were mentioning your different nationalities. English, British, I lose track. Have you decided which flag you'll finish with?
Yeah, I will. They will get me like the official Swiss flag, so I will finish with the Swiss flag because also of the manifestation. Because like they picked it quite nicely up before the race, and maybe there comes something after.
They did a nice article in your early life, didn't they? And
Yeah.
could you imagine when you were a young child running a race like this? Life has many surprises.
Yes, yes. Yeah. No, it's but I didn't know if I mentioned it, but actually like all these nationalities and so, maybe because of my background, I feel not really actually bound by that. It's like more, I feel like really like a earthling. So
Great, well thanks so much Pushkar. Anything else you want to say, or are you just happy to keep running?
So let your dreams become true. Everything starts with the first step. Be brave. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Pushkar. Cheers.
Hey.